He's doing Will Chamberlain type stuff now.
Nikola Jokic isn't just leading the MVP race, he's completely taking over the league this season. His numbers look unreal, nearly 30 points a night, effortless rebounding, more than 11 assists per game like a true point guard, and efficiency that doesn't even seem fair. It's like he's playing a different sport. But once you dig into the records, things get even crazier. Jokic is posting a PER of 37.0, the highest single-season mark in NBA history. Higher than Giannis, higher than Wilt, higher than any season he's ever had himself. This isn't just elite, it's a new standard for the entire league. Among players averaging 30 or more points, he's also number 1 all-time in efficiency, ahead of Curry, Giannis and Adrian Dantley, pure legendary territory, and he's walking through it like it's normal. On top of that, Jokic already ranks top 3 all-time in triple-doubles, trailing only Russell Westbrook and Oscar Robertson, and he's adding more almost every week. He also holds the number 1 spot in NBA history in win shares per 48 minutes, ahead of Michael Jordan, David Robinson, LeBron James and Wilt Chamberlain. A stat that measures pure impact, where he stands alone. Scroll through any leaderboard this season and his name shows up everywhere: rebounds, assists, total rebounds, defensive boards, assist percentage, offensive rating, win shares, box plus minus. It's like you're searching just to find something he isn't leading, and even that feels like a challenge.
Every 100 possessions that he's on the court, I want you to listen to what I'm about to say. I'm going to try to keep it under control. Every 100 possessions he's on the court, the Nuggets are scoring 151 points. Every 100 possessions he's on the court defensively, the Nuggets are giving up 104 points. That means every 100 possessions he's out there, the Nuggets are outscoring the opposition by 47 points. Okay?
This isn't just an MVP run. This is one of those once-in-a-generation seasons people will still be talking about decades from now. The kind of season where future players say, yeah, that Jokic year was unreal. When someone is breaking records left and right and outshining legends without even blinking, the narrative around them starts to get wild. Because once you understand how historic Jokic's season truly is, everything happening in Denver suddenly looks a lot more dangerous. And honestly, the league might not be ready for what's coming next. Every season, there's that one matchup where a team shows its true identity, and for Denver, that wake-up call came when they ran into the Houston Rockets. Houston has been one of the toughest squads this year, so heading into their building without Aaron Gordon, who got injured barely 3 minutes in, and without Christian Braun should have been a terrible sign. A road game with an NBA Cup atmosphere had all the makings of a trap game. But Denver flipped the script. They didn't just escape with a win, they walked in calm, controlled the pace, absorbed every run Houston tried to put together, and looked like the same cold veteran crew the Western Conference was hoping wouldn't wake up this season. This wasn't just about matchups or who guarded who, it showed exactly what kind of machine Denver still is. Houston usually needs only 2 things to ruin your night: clamp down on defense and disrupt your rhythm by dragging you into their style.
Jokic is doing stuff. It's wild, man. He's shooting 78% on 2-pointers. 78.
Yeah, that's a high
okay?
number.
He's leading the league in rebounds. He's leading the league in assists.
Somehow, Denver matched Houston step for step, holding the Rockets to just 12 points in the first quarter, surviving Reed Shepherd dropping 27, dealing with Houston grabbing 17 offensive rebounds, and still staying calm when the game tightened. The whole night came down to 3 things. First, Denver flipped that hidden defensive switch they only use when it really matters. Even with Houston crashing the boards non-stop, the Nuggets held them to 7-4-17 on second-chance opportunities, forced tough mid-range shots, rotated sharply, and refused to let Shepherd's hot streak turn into a full takeover. Second, Nikola Jokic solved every trick Houston threw at him like he was doing homework. He dropped 34 points, grabbed 10 rebounds, and handed out 9 assists, but even those numbers don't fully show how completely he controlled the game. Every mid-range shot they dared him to take, cash. Every moment Jamal Murray struggled to find a rhythm, Jokic slowed the game down and kept Denver steady. He even guarded Sengun straight up and made the biggest plays when the pressure hit. It was one of those nights where you could literally see the best player on the floor dragging the entire game into his own tempo. And the third key was Denver's championship-level composure. The kind you only get from real battles and real pressure moments. Houston kept throwing run after run, searching for a single crack to flip the game, and Denver didn't fold for even a second. They moved like a team that has lived through these moments 1,000 times, because they have. When a team survives a night like this on the road, missing 2 starters and dealing with everything going sideways, it tells you exactly who they still are.
Denver has a man who is playing at the absolute peak of his powers, and so nothing can be taken away from him. And Denver has the number 2 defense in the league.
It reveals something deeper about who the Nuggets really are. Nights like this don't happen by accident. They happen because a superstar like Jokic knows exactly when to take over and how to control every detail of a game. Everything Nikola Jokic did in this matchup is exactly what he's been doing all season. He's running the league again with numbers that almost don't look real. 29.5 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists, nearly 2 steals, and an absurd 69% effective field goal percentage. Those are video game stats. He's still the cleanest playmaker in the NBA while also being one of the most efficient scorers, hitting 41% from 3, drilling mid-range shots like it's practice, and shooting 66% from 3 to 10 feet and 67% from 10 to 16 feet, basically automatic. With his size, footwork, and calm off-the-dribble control, defenders have nothing meaningful to throw at him. He walks into his spots, takes the shots he loves, and knocks them down at nearly 70%. There's no defensive scheme built to stop someone that precise. Because of that, his offensive impact is getting ridiculous. Denver scores an extra 22.4 points per 100 possessions with him on the floor, 99th percentile dominance, and their net rating jumps to plus 24 when he's out there. That's superstar control at the highest level. And while everyone talks about the offense, what people keep ignoring is that Jokic's defense this season has been just as important. Anyone still claiming he's a weak defender simply isn't watching. That old narrative doesn't apply anymore. Denver has raised their defensive level, and Jokic is at the center of it with sharp positioning, perfect timing, and high IQ reads that shut plays down before they even begin. He's doing it without elite speed or crazy athleticism, yet he's anchoring one of the toughest defenses in the league. He's become the steady piece holding the whole structure together. Something far more valuable than any flashy chase-down block. And yes, he already has 3 MVP trophies, but with the way he's performing, it's hard to imagine anyone else taking it from him this season. He's leading a top seed in a brutal Western Conference, dropping a near 30-point triple-double on 70% efficiency, and playing real defense. That's almost impossible to argue against. What makes this version of Jokic even scarier is that Denver finally fixed 2 of their biggest weaknesses from last season. Somehow, the Nuggets turned those flaws into strengths, and nobody's talking about it the way they should. The most underrated part of Denver's season is how focused they've been on defense from day one. All off-season, the Nuggets said they wanted to climb into the top 10 defensively, and they've actually done it, quietly jumping all the way to 5th in the league, holding teams to 112.2 points per 100 possessions. They're forcing opponents well below their usual scoring averages, and their point-of-attack pressure looks way tighter than last year. The rotations are cleaner and more organized, and Jokic is protecting the rim with the timing and discipline of a true defensive anchor. When you watch the film, it shows instantly, his reads are elite. You see him sliding over to shut down a baseline pass, then jumping an angle to blow up a feed to Drew Eubanks, reading the entire action before it fully develops.
Out. These numbers that he is doing these are Wilt Chamberlain-esque numbers. I wasn't alive for Wilt Chamberlain had these numbers. You hear about these seasons. Wilt averaged 50 points and 25 rebounds, and he had 75 consecutive quadruple doubles or whatever, and you're like, I don't believe any of that.
And then there's the deflection on that Mar pass. Jokic is seeing plays 2 steps ahead at all times. And it's not just him grinding on defense. Peyton Watson, Christian Braun when healthy, and even Cam Johnson have been giving Denver real, meaningful wing minutes. Last season, the Nuggets' biggest problem was that their playoff-level defense only appeared once the postseason started. But this year, that level has shown up early, and it's only November. That's why the Houston game was so loud. Denver didn't accidentally hold a top 3 offense to 12 points in a quarter. That was structure, preparation, and a full locker room buying into the plan they talked about all summer. What makes this defensive leap even crazier is that it isn't just the starters carrying the load. Denver has quietly made one of the biggest improvements in the league, and barely anyone is talking about it. The bench has turned into a real asset. The non-Jokic minutes have always been the biggest question. How do they survive when he sits? Last season, Denver had a minus 9.8 net rating without him, and things somehow got even worse in the playoffs. But this year, the script has flipped. The non-Jokic minutes sit at minus 6.6. Not perfect, but a massive upgrade, and when your superstar gives you a plus 17.4 net rating on his own, all the bench needs to do is survive. Thanks to smart off-season moves, Denver finally has a second unit they can trust. Peyton Watson has taken a real leap as a defensive rotation piece. Spencer Jones provides size, discipline, and mistake-free basketball, something Denver desperately needed. Tim Hardaway Jr. has become instant offense the moment he checks in. Jonas Valanciunas gives them interior strength and someone they can run actions through when Jokic rests. And Bruce Brown is finally finding his rhythm again as the glue guy they leaned on during their championship run. Now, when Jokic sits, Denver doesn't collapse like they did in past years. The drop-off is smaller, the rotations make sense, and the team looks more organized than ever. But even with a stronger bench and a tougher defense, none of it matters unless their second star locks in. And this season, Jamal Murray is treating the regular season like it actually matters. Maybe for the first time in his entire career. That might be the biggest change of all. Murray has always been a postseason monster, but during the regular season, Denver never knew which version of him would show up. Not anymore. This year he looks like a different player, averaging a career-high 22.8 points, 6.5 assists, and 1.2 steals on 54% effective field goal shooting, playing with the consistency Denver has been begging for. You can tell he's taking the nightly grind seriously for the first time. And if you're hungry for more, there are plenty of videos waiting for you on the channel. Tap into those next, and catch you in the next one.